Hello everyone, welcome to the Lightning Ball channel. Starting from this episode, we'll be reviewing the content of the Tensura light novel Volume 8. This volume covers 4 main areas, which we'll break down into 4 separate videos: the relationship between the Monster Federation and neighboring countries, Ramras's Labyrinth, the inauguration ceremony during the National Festival, and finally, the establishment of the Monster Federation's romantic relationship system. In this episode, we'll begin by discussing the relationship between the Monster Federation and its neighboring countries. Let's get started. In our last episode, we mentioned how the goddess Luminous and the Holy Knights attended the party hosted by the Monster Federation, and subsequently signed a century-long contract with Rimuru. With this, the Monster Federation officially rose to become one of the top powers in the world. Taking this opportunity, Rimuru decided to host a national festival to showcase the wonders of the Monster Federation, hoping to attract more people to settle there. After spreading various messages, how would the other powers in the world react? First, we have the Western countries. They consist of several smaller states. Although the Western Holy Church publicized that Saint Hinata Sakaguchi and Demon Lord Rimuru reached a draw, leading to the signing of the century-long contract, whispers of the real story, that Saint Hinata was defeated by Rimuru, reached the leaders of these Western nations. This caused quite the shockwave. Many found it hard to fully trust the official statements released by the Western Holy Church, but they were also hesitant to believe this shocking revelation. At this moment, at the center of all the rumors, Demon Lord Rimuru sent them a special invitation, asking them to attend the inauguration of the new Demon Lord and the National Festival of the Monster Federation. As a result, the leaders were in turmoil. However, after learning that no Holy Knights had been harmed, they each made their decisions. This set the stage for the unfolding narrative. Next, let's look at the armed nation of Dworgen, which has always maintained friendly ties with the Monster Federation. Shortly after Rimuru announced his inauguration, there was chaos among the nation's elite. The root cause, unsurprisingly, was the battle between Rimuru and Hinata. Soon, the nation's leaders gathered to discuss their stance towards the Monster Federation. Through covert investigations and recent moves by the Holy Church, they concluded that the awakened demon Lord Rimuru had defeated Hinata, who was even more formidable than their own King Gazel Dwargo. King Gazel, the subject of their comparison, agreed with this assessment. With this, it was undeniable, even to the skeptics, that the military might of the Monster Federation had surpassed that of the Dwarf Kingdom. This signified a massive shift in the world's balance of power. The ministers debated vigorously, divided on whether to continue peaceful relations or to snuff out this emerging power while they could. However, Gazel was quick in his judgment. He saw Rimuru as a rational monster who sought friendly relations with humans. The many beneficial exchanges between their countries also supported this belief. Reminded by Gazel that Rimuru was his own sworn brother, and considering the mutual benefits both countries had enjoyed, the ministers were reassured. It's evident here just how wise and forward-thinking King Gazel is. Thus, under King Gazel's guidance, the nation of Dworgen chose to strengthen its ties with the Monster Federation. Not long after, they received an invitation to Rimuru's inauguration ceremony. After intense deliberation, King Gazel decided to personally attend the Monster Federation's national festival. In another nation, on the west side of the vast Jura forest, stands the mighty sorcerer's dynasty Sarian, embraced by the grand divine tree. Within the emperor's castle was a vast and beautiful courtyard. At this very moment, 2 individuals were leisurely resting there. One was Elian's father, Archduke Irald Grimwald. The other was the country's unique figure, Queen Elmesia Elru Sarian. This young-looking lady was a pure-blood representative among the forest elves, a living testament to history with her ageless body. Her slender, captivating eyes shine with an emerald hue, her porcelain skin as delicate as pudding, and her breathtaking beauty could be seen in her flawless complexion. Her long, silky silver hair, with a shimmer like the galaxy, cascaded down her cheeks, revealing characteristic pointed ears. She was the embodiment of harmony, a true elf, known as a high elf, the pinnacle of their kind. Lost in her beauty, Irald's thoughts were interrupted by memories of his angry wife and daughter, bringing him back to reality. He began his report on the recent controversial figure, Demon Lord Rimuru, who sent an invitation. Initially, the letter was addressed to Irald, and there was no need to report it to the queen. However, after previously reporting on a meeting with Rimuru, Irald faced the queen's icy gaze and a barrage of critical remarks, though they felt more like complaints than genuine reprimands. To Irald, who knew this side of her, this behavior showcases the queen's true private demeanor, which was vastly different from her public, cold exterior. Aware of this, Irald often felt immense pressure. Currently, due to the queen's sulking, collaboration budgets with the Monster Federation had been frozen, causing progress to stall. To maintain this relationship and cooperation, Irald needed to first appease the queen. Irald reported on the invitation from the Monster Federation. Subsequently, Elmesia inquired about Irald's thoughts on the invite. The cunning Irald didn't express his opinion, fearing the implications if Queen Elmesia were to personally attend, turning the event into a national affair. Such major decisions should be guided by the queen's sentiments. The internal dynamics within Sarian were intricate. Even though Irald's family was the leading one among the 13 royal families under the queen, he wouldn't want to risk the queen's safety. Nevertheless, the queen stated that compared to the minor players within the country, Demon Lord Rimuru was more challenging, both in terms of his personal intellect and the military strength of his nation. Therefore, forging a good relationship with Demon Lord Rimuru was the only viable option, a sentiment firmly expressed by the queen. As a result, the policy of the Sorcerer's Dynasty Sarian was set in stone. From the ranks managed by Irald, a group of magical knights and royal mediators were dispatched to accompany the queen on her journey. The next country we will talk about is the Kingdom of Blumid. However, the primary focus for Rimuru here was a negotiation with the prominent merchant, Malmau. Using teleportation magic, Rimuru arrived at Malmau's mansion. Despite some prior disturbances involving some nobles, discussions swiftly moved to the main topic at Malmau's insistence. For the moment, all preparations for the founding festival of Tempest were proceeding smoothly. Thanks to Shuna's efforts, an expert in cooking named Kaoru Yoshida from another world was successfully recruited. Gabaru and Vesta's technology exhibition plans were also underway, and the craftsmen were hard at work. However, Veldora, one of the 4 true dragons in the world and a somewhat delusional one at that, proposed a troublesome request. He wanted to experience ordinary life and planned to open a teppanyaki restaurant in Tempest. Malmau was reluctant but was swayed by Rimuru's persuasive words to undertake this challenging task. Subsequent discussions revolved around the festival's events. While the current Tempest capital city was unparalleled as a relaxation spot, Rimuru believed it lacked a central attraction for the founding festival. He envisioned not just a healing city but a unique city full of life and entertainment that would bring joy to everyone. To this, Malmau proposed emulating the theater and coliseum of the Kingdom of Ingracia's capital. Such establishments would allow all citizens to have experiences, and the coliseum could showcase powerful figures, like the famed hero Masayuki from the Kingdom of Ingracia in recent days. Rimuru heartily agreed with this suggestion. His intentions were clear, and in Rimuru's mind, the perfect candidate to lead this project was obvious. Although Malmau sighed at the assignment, a slight smile appeared on his lips. He was tired of his daily routine and yearned for a big undertaking in his remaining life. The massive responsibility of attracting regular customers, managing seating and tickets at the Coliseum, facilitating accommodations for the influx of visitors, promoting products like healing potions, and selling weapons and equipment were enticing challenges. Entrusted with such a vast mission by Demon Lord Rimuru, Malmau felt both excitement and the pressure of not failing. Finally, Rimuru extended an invitation.
So, will you join me?
Without hesitation, Malmau eagerly accepted. After wrapping up their discussions, Malmau and his party set out towards the Monster Federation. Following the festival's conclusion, the renowned merchant Malmau would step onto the world stage as the chief financial officer of the Monster Federation. After concluding their talks, Rimuru headed to the Free Guild branch in the Kingdom of Blumid, extended an invitation, and then used his advanced teleportation magic to return to his city. Lastly, it's important to note that the southern countries of the Jura Forest, including Frey's Kingdom of Fulbrosia, Carrion's Beast Kingdom Eurazania, and the late claimant's Puppet Kingdom, now all bow to Milim Nava. Being close allies, they stand firmly with the Monster Federation. Well, that's the end of this video. In our next episode, we'll discuss Ramaris and her labyrinth construction. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next one.